Good morning, good afternoon, 12:15 on the 16th of September. Well, good morning, everybody. I don't know how much I mentioned this last time, but I'm going to launch into it again. This will be a weekly event for you, I'm afraid. We've got 4 people on this module now, and 3 of the people have already logged on, and that leaves Ellie. I'm going to be meeting Ellie on Wednesday of this week, so that's the 18th of September. I want to be meeting Ellie in Aintree. Yeah. All of you are local, and by local I mean all of you are in the northwest. So if you fancy showing up at 1 o'clock at the Aintree complex down in Aintree Hospital, feel free to show up or ring me up and come in some other time. You know, don't feel as though if you missed the boat one time, then that's it. You know, the door closes behind you. But I'm meeting Ellie anyway, so if you fancy coming along, why not? So we've got 4 people on the course, and one fella. Hiya, Chris with a K. Is that a bit of a Danish or Scandinavian influence there, possibly? And I've got like a few questions from Louise. Okay, let me tell you how this course started. Yeah. This course started, I teach degree level materials and I teach master's level stuff too. I have an acute cardiac care course which I run. I have a heart failure care course which I also run. And both are at degree level. So what I've done for you is to put both the content into one package for advanced cardiac care. Then you'll be looking at both sides of the story. So I use Comprehensive Coronary Care, which is a book by Jarrett and Thompson, and I also use Heart Failure, a Clinical Nursing Approach, which is by Christopher Nicholson. And you will notice in the course there's a folder for acute care and there's a folder for chronic care. Each week a lesson will emerge in each of those folders. So the idea that I have is that you go in each week and you do a lesson from each. One lesson will emerge in each folder from the mists, will emerge each week. Yeah, so you can cover both a topic in acute care and you can cover a topic in chronic care. That's the model I have in my head. I mean, you know, feel free to play around with it to the extent that you can. But that's how I conceive of this thing moving along. This is by far the largest group that I've ever had to deal with. And what's more, it's getting bigger every year. So what I'm thinking is that this represents a change in demographic. When I first offered this course, it was for one person who rang me up and said, look, I'd like to do this. And I had all the course materials together. So I thought, well, why not? Why not let one person do it? And then one person, 2 people, and up to the end of last semester, I had nobody who had come forward and expressed an interest in this module. And when I went away on holiday a few weeks ago, there was still no one with an application form in. So I had just assumed that no one was going to come forward, the course wouldn't run. And then out of the blue, the largest group ever. So, you know, this explains why, you know, I've got a certain rushed, I feel like I look like I'm being rushed, or it also explains why the handbook isn't ready yet, because I didn't anticipate people being on. So I'm sure it'll be ready today or tomorrow, but, you know, you'll know by then. So there we've got the handbook. There we've got how the course is constructed. There are exercises for you to do per week. Do not go quiet on me or I'll ring you up, you know, or I'll come round to your place of work and tell everyone you're a bad student. Even if you just say, you know, I thought he made an interesting point, I thought she made an interesting point. I'm not going with that because they're talking rubbish. I've got some questions from Louise. Hi Louise, out there in Southport. Yes, Blackboard has changed. We've modernised. We went to a higher version, a later version of it, just at about the time you're talking about. So it has changed. If you have run into any trouble, it's perfectly navigable. If you run into any trouble, just give us a shout, and I'll talk you through it. You know, especially if you're sitting in front of a computer. Um, the acute and chronic, yes, it goes hand in hand. Do one from each folder each week, and you can't go far wrong. Can you go directly to palliative care? Asks Louise, who practices in palliative care. No, that's the answer to that. You've got to sit through the rest first. Palliative care's got to be the end of the story, you know. If you really want to see it, Louise, ring me up and I'll make special arrangements. And the handbook is in the pipeline. So start thinking of your essay now. What you've got to do for your essay is to pretend that you're writing for a journal, and pretend that you're sticking to the rules that a journal would like you to follow. And, you know, you're going to be doing the work for this essay. So, you know, all right, you're doing this as an intellectual exercise for this course, but start thinking in terms of firing an article off. As you're picking your subject, ask yourself, what might an editor be interested in writing about? You know, why not? Why would you not do that? You know, sometimes people have great ideas for these courses, and it's an interesting one. Just off the top, it's an interesting one. Write about weather. Do you know that I wrote a piece a few years ago that got published on the subject of heat waves and heart failure. You know, what is the advice that you give a person during the heat wave who's got heart failure? And that went in first go, the British Journal of Cardiac Nursing. So why not write a corresponding article on cold weather and heart failure? Why not? You know, I'm sure someone would be interested in publishing that. But anyway, that's for the future. Start writing your essay tonight. Pick your subject, plan your subject, start writing. There's no advantage whatsoever in you putting any of this off. So, on that, I want to bid you all goodbye. Keep in touch. Don't go quiet. I've got a couple of introductions. If you want to go on the introductions list, it's there next to you. You can see who else is on the course. And for those of you who have already put stuff up, then, you know, send us a photograph. Send us a photograph of you or where you work or whatever. And, you know, just to flesh out the picture, really. Anything else? Facebook group. I've set up the Facebook group for HEA 4003. There's nobody in it yet. So, you know, if you want an informal way of getting in touch with me and a fast way of getting in touch with me, Facebook is the way to go. Other than that, arrivederci.